Friends, our incredible adventure here in Costa Rica has taken us to the hilltops outside of the capital, San Jose. We're about 4,000 feet above sea level. 1% of the world's coffee is grown right here. Follow me. So I'm here with Ulysses and some of his compadres, and we're all here under the shade of this rainforest picking coffee beans. Why the red versus the green ones?
The ones that are red are the ones that are full of sugars, the ones that are full of flavors like this, you see?
Dulce.
Dulce is very sweet.
What's interesting about Arabica, about coffee plants, is that they originated in Africa, but Costa Rica does something magical with coffee. Because we have high elevation, we have rich soils, and growing this coffee in a shaded ecosystem, as the coffee becomes a part of the ecosystem, it makes a very special cup of coffee. This unique attribute is what has made Costa Rica such a special place for adventure. Not only do you come and experience the ecosystem and the wildlife, you can have a direct connection to the culture through something like coffee. So basically, we're filling these baskets, and how much of these wet beans will equal a dried bean that can contribute directly to a cup of coffee?
At the end, from the 12 kilograms, what we have is probably like 1 or 2 kilograms of final product.
So you only get about 20% yield from all of these beans that we'll be harvesting. As with many tropical fruits, you see nature's perfect design for seed dispersal. The fruity, pulpy, sweet part on the outer edge is what brings the fruit-eating bats and monos, the monkeys, will come, and they're attracted by the bright color. They get moisture, fruit, which they eat. If they bite the seeds, they get a nasty surprise. So that is actually a coffee seed. That is the defense. It is the chemicals inside the bean that repel the predator. But we take these beans, we roast them, we grind them, and we create a beverage that has been celebrated around the world for many, many centuries. Excelente. So we've got a little bit more picking to go, and then we move on to the next amazing step in making a great cup of coffee.
Now, Glenn Jompol, a local coffee producer, is going to help me turn my basket of beans into Costa Rican coffee.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing? We're going to pour these cherries into this machine, which is called a chancadora, which takes the pulp off of the bean.
And they're called cherries?
They're called cherries
cool.
until they become dry.
So now that the flesh has been pulled away, when it goes in this vat over here,
It's going to ferment for about 48 hours. It enhances, actually, the flavor of the bean a little bit more.
after the fermenting, it's time to dry.
Time to dry.
Let's check that out.
This is where we dry the coffee after it's been fermented.
Kind of a fruity smell to it. And how do you know when they're ready to be toasted?
Well, the old style way was to fill up a 1-liter jar and it would weigh X amount of grams. But we've become a little sophisticated. This is the humidity tester, which we fill with beans up to the top right there. And then when we've got it sort of equal, you can see it says 14.8%. And we need it to be around 10.5% or 10%.
So these beans aren't ready yet.
No. Let's go see some that are.
Okay, let's check it out.
First, the coffee is processed through a winnowing machine, then poured into a mechanism that sorts the beans by size for the next crucial step.
So this is the roaster right here, Glenn.
Yeah, this is it. This is where we do all of our magic with the beans.
This is when coffee starts to smell like coffee. What's the temperature in here?
It's about 460 degrees Fahrenheit.
That aroma is just incredible.
Before our beans are finally ready to be brewed, Glenn and Ulysses walk me through a quality control process known as cupping.
So this is the coffee that we roasted.
Exactly. Now the hot water with temperatures around 185
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yes.
So as that hot water hits these ground coffee beans, the oils are released, the aroma is released.
Exactly. So we smell the coffee, finding characteristics such as chocolate, for example. We
I
have
can smell that, a little bit of the Tia Broma cacao, the chocolate, and almost like a nut, like a hazel nuttiness to it.
Exactly.
Yes. It's important also the flavor, sweetness, bitterness, and acidity in the coffee. The idea is slurp, to have air in our mouth, so stimulate our tongue to find those flavors. Our tongue is able to find the flavors all over.
creaminess around the tongue, and in the back, the bitterness. Pleasant in its own way without adding any sugar or milk to it.
Not necessarily, exactly.
So we've tested our coffee. Shall we make the real thing now?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So, Glenn, in order to make this great cup of coffee in Costa Rica, we need a choreador. Now, you have this one. This one, that's got some color. That's got some character.
That's a great one.
Has a little basket that goes in the center, and it's the ultimate gravity-fed cup of coffee.
Try that, Jeff.
It just smells delicious. It's rich. It's intense. That's a great cup of coffee.